Pioneer. Yo guys, before we get into today's video, don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video, if you agree or disagree. We are going to be doing a 2300 gem giveaway. I'll be drawing it from the comments in this video. All you have to do is drop a like on my video, be a subscriber, and just comment below. It can be about anything. Basically, just if you watch the video, comment what you like about it, any changes or anything, or if you agree to disagree. And I'll be selecting a winner from that in 24 hours to win 2,300 gems. I'll either hook them up with PayPal, a Google or Apple gift card. Yo, what is going on guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rise of War video. Today guys, I have made up a Lord of the Rings Rise of War Good Commander tier list. This is fully updated from Season 4, all 35 good commanders. I've built this in Photoshop myself, so we'll see how things go. It took me a lot of time, so if you want to drop a like on the video, it'll help me out an absolute ton. So we'll see how this goes. So basically, the commander's going to pop up when I click them, and we're going to choose the section. We have overpowered, strong, good, average, and weak. And we're going to place them in a section, and then we're just going to talk a little bit of why we chose it, and then we're going to move on. Rightio guys, so our first commander, as you can see, is going to be Boromir. Now, Boromir is a tier 1 commander, but for a tier 1 he is quite good. He's not the world's strongest against evil, but he's pretty good all-rounder, so I think we're going to have to place Boromir in the good section. Moving on to our second commander, we have King of the Dead. King of the Dead is absolutely excellent, and I think I'm going to have to place him in the strong commander section. In saying that, he is really good at, of course, dodging damage, but he's also hard to be able to get the Oathbreakers if you're not near him. But I'm going to put him in there because he's a strong commander, and with the correct units of Oathbreakers, he is amazing. Our next commander, Tier 2 Aragorn, who I will be using in the Fearless Pioneers battle soon, is an excellent commander. I think he is very strong, but I'm probably going to place him in the good section. Or maybe strong. Maybe I can make some adjustments later, but we're going to put him in the good section for the time being. But he's a lot better than Boromir, isn't he? Alright, we're going to place him up in the strong section for the time being. Just because I feel like he's a bit better than Boromir. Boromir may get moved down to average after. We'll see what happens. Our next commander is Thranduil. Now, he is pretty not good. I'm going to put him as average. I wouldn't class him weak. He is a tier 3 and he can do some alright damage and poison and stuff like that. But I wouldn't call him an absolute weakling, to say the least. I don't know if we'll put anyone in weak. We'll see what happens. The next commander we have is Elrohir. He is pretty decent. I would definitely say he is a good to average commander. Maybe I'll put him halfway in between. So we'll put him like that. And we'll put him as half good and half average. If it makes sense. I think he's average, but he's also good. Our next commander we're going to be moving on to is Dane. Okay, Dane is an extremely good commander. I'm probably going to put him up in the OP area. Just because he can do a lot of damage, including a ton of commander damage. If you're using Erebor's tier 4 and that, he's extremely strong. Like, I used to wipe Witch Kings and everything with him, so I'm definitely going to put him up there with the OP category. Moving on, we have Éomer. Okay, Éomer is another really good commander with extremely high speed. It's a pretty easy fit right now. I think I'm going to put him straight up into the strong category. He is definitely a very strong commander, works very good with mounted. He's just a little bit worse than Theoden, so in saying that, he's pretty good. The next one we have is Galadriel. Now, I've been using her a lot this season. I have to admit, she's a little bit overrated. But she is definitely a very strong commander. So I'm probably going to place her in the strong section. In saying that, like, I was going to put a strong to good, but then she's probably better than Aragorn, to say the least. So we're going to place her in the strong section. Also, guys, let me in the comments section below if you agree or disagree. of course, there's going to be a lot of agreement and disagreement, so I'd love to know what about your thoughts. Our next commander, Arwen. Okay, she is a good commander. She does a lot of healing and stuff like that, so we're going to place her in the good section. Even though for a tier 2, she's definitely as good as Boromir, but her healing's really good, which helps her out a lot. She's really good with reversing tiles and that as well. So, in saying that, we're going to place her in the good section. Our next commander, Legolas. Now, Legolas is definitely good. He can be OP as well, but I think a good fit for him, I'm going to place him in the OP, the strong section. He can be really good when built correctly. He can do an extreme amount, like 350, 400,000 damage. So I'm going to place him in the OP, the strong category in between, which was not scripted. I just came up with that as we were going. Our next commander, Gimli. Another excellent commander, and I think the perfect place for him is going to be right next to Legolas here in the OP to strong category. He can do a lot of commander damage. With the right gear, you know what? I almost want to put him in the OP section as well, but it depends on the troops and that. So we're going to keep him in the OP, the strong section for the time being. At the end, if I want to make any changes, I'll think about it. Alright, Faramir. Okay, Faramir I'm going to put as a... Yeah, I'd say a good to average commander. He's really good when getting Oathbreaker camps and stuff like that, but I haven't really used him enough. I only used him in Season 1 a fair bit, so I'm going to put him in the good to average section. Okay, we have Elrond next. Elrond, to say the least, he's pretty decent. I'm going to put him in the good section, just a clean good. I'm not going to talk too much about him. He could definitely be a lot better, without an absolute doubt. Okay, Dwalin. Dwalin is an excellent commander. If you have really good gear and stuff like that, with the anti-fire damage that he can take, I'm definitely probably going to put him in the section. I'm going to say he is good to strong. As a tier 1 commander, I'm going to put him as a good to strong commander. In saying that, I think I want to make a little bit of a change here, and with Aragorn, I'm going to move him down just a tiny bit to the good to strong section, like so. Moving on, guys, we're going to pick our next commander, who is going to be Ori. Now, Ori he's pretty average, I'd say the least, so I'm going to put him as a clean average. He can do some focus damage and stuff like that, but you really don't see many commanders really using him at all, so we're going to go with just an average. Moving on, okay, well this is a super easy one. We have Gil-galad, no idea where to put him, I wonder where. Let's throw him straight up into OP. Unless you have Pursuit, he is pretty much untouchable, he is super OP, I just made a video about him, and that's that said. He is just OP, absolutely amazing, works extremely good with those elven troops. Gandalf the Grey. Okay, Gandalf the Grey is a really good commander. I wouldn't say he is super strong. He's pretty good against Witch Kings and stuff like that. But I am definitely going to put him up here next to Dwalin in the strong to good category in the middle there. I think he is very good. He's got really good healing. He's a very all-round good commander. So I'm definitely going to put him as a strong to good commander. But I highly recommend using him early. You know, I almost want to move him to strong, but we'll leave him there for the time being. Okay, well, in saying that, we've got Gandalf the White. Now, Gandalf the White is an absolutely excellent commander. And because I have Legolas and Gimli in OP to strong, I've got no choice. I have to put Gandalf the White up in OP. With full mounted and stuff, he is extremely strong. And besides Witch King or Khaldun, he is pretty much near unstoppable. So we're definitely going to throw him up there. Moving on. Okay, King Aragorn. I did a lot of testing with him in Season 3. And he is a very solid, strong commander. I will definitely place him up there in the strong category. Tier 2 Aragorn is maybe a little bit better, but King Aragorn is really good, so we're definitely going to place him there. He works really good. He works good with all troops, to be honest. Really good with Oathbreakers as well. Okay, we got another OP commander, Theoden. It was the start of Season 3 where I started seeing everyone using Theoden. I was like, why are they using him so much? And yeah, I've done videos with him. He is a PvP monster. He can get over 400,000 HP. He is extremely strong. He's up there, probably one of the best commanders in the absolute entire game. Merry and Pippin. I am working on these guys at the moment, so they're a little bit untested. On paper, I like the look of them. I know they can do some pretty good healing and stuff. You're probably going to be surprised. I actually think they are definitely a good to average commander, to say the least. So I'm going to put them in the middle here at good to average. Almost leaning... You know what? I almost think I'm going to move them up to the good section. They're quite good. They can do a lot of healing and stuff like that. In saying that, I think I might move Elra here up to good as well, if that's going to be the case. But I think they're quite decent, to say the least. A lot of people may not say, but trust me, I'm going to prove you guys wrong in my video upcoming. I'm working on them quite a lot, and they're pretty decent, to say the least. Radagast, one of my favorites. He is extremely good commander. Now, he's not the world's best in PvP, say the least. Well, he's amazing at stopping battles for ages. He can heal for ages. He is definitely... I got no choice to put him up into the OP to strong. Just because he is really good at amazing at healing. He can hold off battles for absolute ages. So I'm definitely going to put him up there. Okay, Eowyn. Eowyn is a very solid commander. I think she should be put in the middle here. I'd say around about the same as Gandalf the Grey. She's pretty good. She does good damage, stun immunity and stuff like that. So she's definitely a strong to good commander. Haldir. Okay, Haldir is another excellent commander. If built correctly, is very strong. I know when I built my King Aragorn like super OP and stuff, he was absolutely annihilating him. So I'm going to place him up next to Radagast here in the OP to strong. But you will need a higher tier, at least R10 respect for him. And he works an absolute treat. Very good with ranged. Denethor. Okay. I think Denethor is definitely average to weak. I'm going to be battling him in the upcoming battle in my Fearless Pioneers battle. So we're going to throw him in the average to weak section. I wouldn't call him full on weak. But he is definitely average to weak in my opinion. Balin. Okay, Balin can be alright. I definitely think he is an average commander though, so I'm going to place him up there with Balin. Yeah, mediocre to say the least, but we're going to place him as an average tier commander. Frodo and Sam. Now, a lot of people are going to say they are very weak. They can be really good against the Witch King though, but it's really RNG based. So, I think I'm going to have to place them to average to weak. Just because it's too much based on RNG. So, I'm going to have to put them just in between there. Hergon. Okay, Hergon is definitely not good for PvP whatsoever. But he is extremely good at Siege, which is also useful in the game. But we're more about talking about PvP and battle and stuff like that. So, I'm going to place him as an average commander just because I would put him as weak, but I'm going to put him a little bit higher just because he's really good at doing siege. Thorin. Been testing him out a lot. I think he is a really good commander. I'm probably going to put him up in the strong section. He is really tanky and can do some pretty decent damage. So we're going to place him up there. Círdan. Okay, I haven't really used him much. I don't know a whole lot about him. But he seems not too bad on paper. I think I'm probably just going to put him in the mediocre section of good to strong. And not say too much more about him. Paired with certain troops, like I think there's the Noldor Longshots, I think, and Seafarers and that, he could do quite well. But they are hard to obtain. Alright, almost finished now. We have Imrahil. I'm going to say Imrahil is a good to average level commander. He seems really good on paper, but every time I battle him, he seems to just get the floor wiped with him. So we're going to put him good to average. Okay, we have Eladan. He is a very good commander. I think he is better than Elra here. So I think instead of good, I'm probably going to put him just up a little bit higher and place him in the good to strong bracket line right there. Alright, we have 3 more commanders to go, guys. The next one is going to be Falcon, who is really good. He has some really good stats, especially with his dwarven units. Very tanky, very strong. I honestly think he pretty much near rivals up there with Thorin and that, so we're going to throw him up in the strong section. Second last, we have Celeborn. Now, I've seen a lot of my team members been using him, and they're sort of a little bit underwhelmed. So, he's pretty good. He can do some pretty good damage, though. We've seen with these guys, I'm going to have to put him on the same sort of tier and say he's a good to strong commander. Last but not least is Treebeard. Pretty simple. I'm probably going to put him up in the OP section. He's extremely strong with high might, focus, does a lot of damage. Really, really, really good to say the least. I'm just going to put him up in OP because I definitely think that he's better than Legolas and Gimli and stuff like that. But that is all 35 of the good commanders, guys. Now, if I want to make any changes, I want to make some. I'm probably going to move Hergon down to weak just because we're basing it on PvP. And I'm going to move Imrahil down to average. We are also going to do a few more changes. I'm going to move Faramir down to average. And I'm going to put Ori down into weak. And Denethor down into weak as well. Just because I don't like him too much. Any other changes? Elrond, I think he should be up in the good to strong section to say the least. He's pretty good. And I'm going to move Boromir down into... let's move him over here into the good to the average section. So we have Boromir in the good to average section. I think I'm going to keep everything else pretty much the same. Pretty happy with how things stand. Please let me know what you think. It might look like a bit of a mess there. And at first I was going to keep them all in the brackets, but then the OP to strong, I sort of would have put them in the middle and stuff like that. But yeah, that is my tier list, guys. I hope you liked it. Sorry if you'll see the squares and everything popping up in that. I couldn't get like a tier list working, so I literally got made and shrink down all these images and made all of this. And literally filmed this in Photoshop and made it. So I spent quite a bit of time getting all this together. So I really appreciate it if you drop me a like. Subscribe if you're new. Yeah, and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you agree to disagree on any of this. I will go through all your comments. I'd love to see what you guys think. But until next time, peace out, EJ's out. And I'll catch you guys later. See you. Songs of the EJU.